Hello, everyone. Welcome to the InstructLab Community CLI meeting. Some important things to remember. All these meetings are governed by the InstructLab Community Code of Conduct. They will also all be recorded and be posted on the YouTube channel. If you prefer not to be on camera, feel free to join off camera or dial in via phone. Please raise your hands to ask questions. And if you prefer to use chat rather than speak, you can use the chat function integrated with Google Meet. We will also publish the chat transcripts following the meeting. So today's Halloween. We'll be doing the Halloween release, which is 0.20.0. So we figured we'd start off by taking a brief look at the milestone here. Not everything that's in the that's open in the milestone looks like it's going to get into 21, but we do have some closed items here that are probably worth calling out. One thing is some updates in regards to hardware support. So we're now using Intel Gaudi 1.18. We're now supporting Torch 2.4 to that end, as well as a new version of BLLM 0.6.2. Let's see, what else do we got? We have some updates to the README. There were a lot of CI fixes for this release for the upstream testing we're doing. One thing I do want to call out is sort of these general issues here. I don't know if JD or Charlie, you want to talk about the splitting these the functionality away from click. Would you like to speak to that?
Sure. Generally, we're doing a bunch of preparation work for what is going to probably become the InstructLab REST API. Step one of that work is splitting apart the upper level click command functionality from what we've deemed as like the underlying actual functionality, right? So it's like the click iLab model train command is separated from the underlying chunks of code that actually run training. Step two, which we haven't begun yet, I don't think, is adding a handler as a middle level kind of between the click and the functionality that will eventually be what we wrap to create the API schema. So we've been doing parts of this beginning work in 0.20. Probably going to do some more in 21, but it's going to be kind of a slow process because it has to happen in tandem with other work that is of higher priority. So you might see some split of various commands. Those PRs are related to this work, and then anything that has like a handler function in it is also related to this work. I don't know if JD, you wanted to add anything.
No, that's pretty much it.
Cool, thanks guys. So yeah, like I said, if you're interested in the exact content that went in, you can see what's closed here in the milestone. Some of these open items, I think, are going to get moved to 0.21 or 0.22, maybe dropped. On that note, actually, so 0.21 we're planning on being out in about 2 weeks, so it's actually going to be a shorter release cycle for us. You can see that milestone here. So like I said, a lot of this open 0.20 content will probably get moved into 0.21, and it'll be a bit of a smaller amount of content, probably, since the release will be about a week earlier than we usually do, partially due to the holiday. Charlie,
the largest thing that's probably going to happen in 21 that was supposed to happen in 20, but it's a big piece of work, so it didn't end up getting merged, is the system profile work, which is an expansion of training profiles. So I know there's been a lot of questions and comments around like, why doesn't this profile apply to the entirety of my config? That's what a system profile is going to do. So no longer is a training profile just going to apply to the training portion of your config. We're going to have auto detection for a lot of hardware, not just NVIDIA GPUs, that's going to auto detect what system you're on and apply the best configuration for your system. So that's going to be a pretty big change that's going to happen in 21, but one that we hope is going to greatly improve the UX, because you won't have to worry about flags changing between releases, because we'll account for that in the auto detected system profiles for I think it's like 36 different hardware configurations that we're going to support. So cool.
very cool. Thank you for sharing, Charlie. One other thing I want to call out here is just the sort of library versions that are going to be used here. So if we look at look right now at the 0.19 branch, we've been capping the library versions for the SDG training and eval libraries. So right now, those caps, look right here, are for eval is on 0.3, SDG is also on 0.3, and training is on 0.5. By and large, I think that is mostly going to stay the same. SDG, we're probably going to bump up to 0.4. Training will be 0.5, and then eval will be 0.3. So only SDG will be seeing a minor version bump for this release. Charlie.
0.4 in SDG has a lot of cool stuff, actually. Some of it we backported and got into 19.4, the InstructLab release, but namely there's going to be loading bars in SDG, which is actually really helpful because I know that the processes take a while, especially when you're using a full pipeline. And I added some loading bars in that just tell you exactly what part of the process you're at. There also is going to be debug logging, so if you want to see the exact prompt that is passed to the teacher model, you can just turn on debug logging in the CLI, and it'll give you a lot of output. So if you're very interested in seeing the state of SDG as it's running, which I know has been kind of a black box over the last couple of releases, that's some improvements that people can expect to see in the 0.20 release.
Good call out. Thank you, Charlie. We'll probably need a, I have to double check the requirements on main here. We're probably going to need a bump through this, or let's see here. Well, we don't cap them on main, so we'll just need to we'll see to do this as once we cut the release branch, we'll just have to add a commit to do that version handling. But that's what we did for 0.19, so we should be good there. Cool. Does anyone have any questions or comments around the 0.20 release or any of the library versions we're going to be using? Okay, cool. So feel free to pick up the milestones later if you're interested, or if you want to know about 0.21 content, if there's anything you're interested in picking up that's unassigned. I'll also call out, as usual, our good first issues. We've got some good first issues here. I believe we actually just marked one the other day as a good first issue. I think it was this one here. If anyone is interested in configuration work, this is one that's just basically adding a parameter from the training library into the CLI to give users a little more control in how they're using the training library with this particular argument. There's more details in the issue here. You can also tag, James Kunsel here as a reporter, so you can feel free to tag him if you have any questions about that. That's one in particular I wanted to call out. But if you're online right now and you're interested in something, or if you're watching the recording, you can always find this link here in the CLI community meeting notes. Yeah, we're excited too, Mark. That was a big ask. It's actually, we have some folks from Red Hat UX that are starting to be dedicated to the project. We're having some more focus put on UX than it's always been a pain point kind of for iLab in these early days. So we have some exciting stuff and some good folks there providing information for that. There's no community member items here on the agenda. So I'll go ahead and take it to open discussion if there's anything anybody would like to discuss. And if not, we can close out early today. All right. Well, it's Halloween. I don't want to keep people, so go out and have fun this evening. Enjoy. Dress up, hand out candy. Go drinking if that's your thing. And we will see you all at the next one.
See you.
Trick or treat, everybody.
Thank
you.